This is the 5th part of my 5 Nights at Freddy's timeline. And this only really makes sense if you watch the 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th part. So you should watch those first. Also, by the time this comes out, it's going to be the 7th of August. So that would mean that a book would come out. A Steel Wool announcement will happen. Probably a game or DLC. A Scott Cawthon interview. And today a demo for a new game will come out. Then tomorrow a new game will come out. And I am writing this on the 3rd of July. So I'm just going to hope that nothing gets disproven. And if anything does get disproven, then I will edit it in the full timeline video next week. Also, this video doesn't have as much evidence as the other parts. Because this part is about Pizza Sim through Help Wanted 2. And those games' story is way easier to figure out. And unlike the old games, where you have to figure out the lore from hidden secrets, in the new games you just see the story, like a normal video game. Michael learned about everything his father had done, and he was going to try and fix it. First he went to the old Freddy Fazbear locations, and he went to free all of the spirits there, and he failed. But he did learn how to free them while he was there. And Shadow Bonnie also tried helping Michael Afton, but he failed. Then years later, Michael learned about a new place that opened up. Fazbear Frights. Fazbear Frights is a horror attraction based on the real murders that happened in Freddy Fazbear's. And they took in a bunch of old haunted stuff from the Freddy Fazbear's locations. And what happens when you collect a bunch of haunted stuff? A bunch of ghosts haunt your new attraction. There was one decoration that they got though. One that they shouldn't have got. They took the old Spring Bonnie suit. The one that William wore. And William's dead corpse is still in the suit. So after Michael heard about this new place, he applied for a job at it. And when he got there, his goal was to free all the spirit souls and kill his dad. Then when he got there, he tried doing that, but he failed. And none of the children's spirits were free. And the bad ending was canon. I think that the bad ending is canon because in the good ending we free the spirits, including Puppet and Golden Freddy. But in FNAF 6 we clearly see that the Puppet is still there, and Golden Freddy is there in Ultimate Custom Night. But Mike was able to burn down Fazbear Frights and kill his father, but his father lived. Then years later, Mike met with Henry, who just got out of prison, and they built a new Fazbear's restaurant. And the restaurant was designed to lure and trap all the spirits, and then they could burn them and free them. And they lured 5 animatronics. They lured what's left of all the fun times, in the form of Molten Freddy, and it had Ballora, Funtime Foxy, and Funtime Freddy in it, because they kicked Baby out. So they also lured Baby, in the form of Scrap Baby, who seemed to have got parts from the old location after she was kicked out of Molten Freddy. She even has the scooper that she used to kill Elizabeth on her arm. They also lured the puppet. They had to trap it in a bear suit called Lefty to do that though. And Lefty was one of the first animatronics ever made. He was Carney. You can tell by the yellow eye and the big nose. Something that no other Freddy has. Not even Rockstar Freddy. Then the main person they captured. The person who started everything. William Afton, in his Springtrap suit, and the suit was repaired from the Golden Freddy suit in the sister location, which means that him and Baby probably both went to the sister location to repair themselves. But Henry and Mike also lured an unexpected character. They lured. He went to the place just because it reminded him of where he was made. Then Henry and Michael burned the place down. And they stayed in the burning place. And everything died. Then William was trapped in a purgatory. Because of Cassidy. And William had to just die over and over and over and over and over and over again. And Cassidy has to be the person who tortures William because, in the Fredbear line it quotes something that has been said to Cassidy.
Let me put you back together, then take you apart all over again. We know who our friends are, and you are not one of them.
This line sounds like a reversed version of something a parent would say to a kid.
When I'm here, you play by my rules!
And these lines from the nightmares imply that they're real now, which could be from someone who saw them when they weren't real.
I assure you, I am very real. This time, there is more than an illusion to fear.
And also the vengeful spirit looks like a child. After everyone died, the people who made Fazbear Frights owned Fazbear Entertainment, and they wanted to somehow revive their failing business. First they made a VR game. The game was made just to make fun of all the past murders and say that they weren't real. And when they were getting the code for this game, they went to the burned down Five Nights at Freddy's 6 location. And they found a computer chip that already had tons of code on it. So they just used that. But that code had something evil inside of it. And it took the form of the first Spring Bonnie suit. The one from the circus in the 70s. And it was called Glitch Trap. The first thing that Glitch Trap did was possess a worker at Fazbear Entertainment. The worker was named Jeremy, and Glitch Trap possessed him into cutting his own face off with a paper cutter. Then Glitch Trap possessed someone else. Someone named Vanessa, and he possessed her to make a bunny suit and murder kids. Just like he did. And she would murder kids at the newly made Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex, which Fazbear Entertainment made. The place had 4 main animatronics: Montgomery Gator, Roxanne Wolf, Glamrock Chica, and Glamrock Freddy. Also Glamrock Bonnie used to be there too. And then Monty killed him. But I'm not going to talk about that because it's just kind of a side story going on with everything else. The Pizzaplex also had side characters too, like
Music Man!
And the old Eclipse animatronic was added too. Except now it's broken and it's split into 2 different characters, Sun and Moon. There was also a worker who died at the Pizzaplex. And it was Bonnie Bro from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. After Cassidy's death, Bonnie Bro felt really bad. So, when he grew up and was 60, he worked at the Pizzaplex as an engineer, to make sure nothing bad happens ever again. Then he was murdered by a bunch of staff bots. And he possessed one when he died. And he was forced to hand out weird AR/VR sci-fi mind-controlling Vanny masks. Then another kid came to the Pizzaplex. And his name was Gregory. And Vanny tried killing him. Then with Freddy's help he killed all the other animatronics and escaped. while saving Vanny and unmind controlling her, and saving Freddy's head after he gets destroyed. And they all lived happily ever after. Then another child got trapped in the Pizzaplex. One named Cassie, and she is the daughter of Bonnie Bro, and she was best friends with Gregory. Okay, now I want to explain all the evidence for Cassie and her father. Originally there wasn't much evidence for it. The original evidence was that Cassie had the same colors of Bonnie Bro. Cassie's father's favorite character was Bonnie, and his father was an engineer at Freddy's. Then Help Wanted 2 came out, and it had so much evidence that it was basically confirmed. There was a hidden Bonnie mask in Princess Quest. The symbol for the achievement of getting the ghost plushes is Bonnie. Carney's line about the player having a daughter.
Now, you look like you got kids. Win a prize for the little one.
And we see the player possess the mask bot. And she heard Gregory tell her that she was in trouble and she needed help. So she went to the Pizzaplex. And at the Pizzaplex, she finds a mask bottle that gives her a weird AR/VR sci-fi mind-controlling Vanny mask. The same mask bot that is possessed by Bonnie Bro. Then Cassie finds out that the Gregory wasn't actually Gregory and it was the mimic was there because the Pizzaplex was built on top of the FNAF 6 location, and he was there when it burned down. And the mimic was also Glitch Trap, and he took this form of Glitch Trap because this is the only spring Bonnie that he ever saw, and he saw it in the circus. Then Cassie tried running from the mimic, and she got in an elevator, and
but we can't risk being followed. I'm sorry.
Gregory? No!
Okay, that's it for the timeline. Next week I will make a video that's a combination of all of the parts. And I will also correct stuff if I did anything wrong. And then soon I'm going to make a day shift at Freddy's timeline. So subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you can see that. Bye 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 bye.